and all streets by the end of this financial year, or by the end of the calendar year, all the streets in Thika town do not have no potholes. I'm talking of the CBD. All the street lights will be working. We have a project worth 150 million. I'll be overseeing it, so the next time I come, you can question me. Then again, this month, we'll be holding Citizen Forum again for projects for 2020-21 financial year. So again, we'll be inviting you for this meeting. The item I would like to say is that the funds can never be enough, because the citizens also do have an obligation to pay their late rates, pay licenses, so that you can facilitate us give service delivery. Service delivery of infrastructure is very expensive. To do an urban road currently with all the facilities that are supposed to be there, LMT, street lights, beautification, you cannot do a road with less than 45 million. If you combine all those facilities to drainage, because in an urban area you have to do almost closed culverts. They are very expensive, they are all concrete. So this is a very expensive exercise. If you compare that with the amount of money that we normally receive from you, we do receive approximately 2.7 billion. That is our own level. I know you tell me some of it is in the pockets of our officers. Governor Nyoro is a no-nonsense man on corruption. So some of these things are going to be saved. If you calculate that to the population that you are having, 2.2 million, you are paying 1,200 shillings per person. So before you raise your figure, just always ask yourself, have you received development worth 1,000 shillings from Kiambu County? No. If you have, don't shout. If you haven't, shout. And if you do think that you have received 1,000 shillings from Kiambu County, go and pay more. So this is obligations to the citizens. You must pay revenue so that we are able. When I calculate, for example, the amount of money that we are supposed to collect, if you give us this money, guys, I'm telling you, you will turn around this county. And the evaluation order that we passed through similar public participation, although many of you commented that the rates are too high, we have properties, and it's only a fraction of the properties in the evaluation order, worth 787 billion. If you pay just less than 1%, just 1% of that, you can calculate and see how much money you'll be having. However, even the much we collect, we are only able to collect 30%. 30% of that money translates into only less than 500,000. So, ladies and gentlemen, the ball is also on your court. Give us the money, and give me that money on time. That rates are due within the first 90 days of a calendar year. So by the end of March, we should all have paid so that we are able to give services to you. This is the other problem for new residents. When you don't pay rates are very expensive, or penalties. And this is the law, it's the national law. It's not our own making. And by the end of the year, the principal is usually lower again, most of you collude with our officers who are probably calculating for rates. Once they find the rates are too high, they look for negotiation. And thereby, you deny the county its own revenue. When you deny the county revenue, you deny yourself the services. It is good when you pay, because the laws are very clear. If it is minor who is blocking the citizen from receiving their services by pocketing their own money, then the law is very clear. It should be put out. And you guys have already succeeded in doing so. I don't want to dwell in that. So it is possible if you take up the responsibility, you throw us out, you put people who can be able to do that work. Because there are people, if minor cannot be able to do that work as the minister, then you can't bring somebody else by throwing minor out. So, but you also have an obligation. Let me also mention a few planning exercises that are being undertaken today. Today, we have planning exercises going on. We have a plan for the Thika corridor, all the way from Nairobi up to Thika. We are taking our section from Githurai. We are also having a plan for Luiru, and it's a technical team working on the draft. Currently, they are seated somewhere in a hotel working on it. We have citizen forum working currently on plan for a gig market. There are several plans. Other 6 towns will be planned by the end of March. I should have taken these plans to the county assembly by end of March for them to be passed. But you guys should also participate. You are aware, it's mandatory that every municipality must have a plan. So this is what we are working towards, fulfilling the seal that the county has a plan. I know a few of you have participated in this process. The lady here has participated in the Mulu. And my office has always been open to anyone, regardless of social status, regardless of the issues that you want to address before under my department. And I know those who have visited me will attest I've never thrown anybody out. The other major plan that will be coming to you as the people of Kiambu County is Kiambu County Special Plan. It is in a draft form. It has remained so. I hope and I'm very sure that Governor Nyoro will give me the necessary support to be able to finalize on this plan. This plan will enable us to fit some of the development in space where they're supposed to be located. It will also give direction on how people develop their structures. I know there have been a lot of issues on some people claiming some development are also infringing on their private life. This has been some areas like Lemuru, Meble, all those areas, including so many other areas here in Thika town. This problem has been there inherited for a very long time. We have taken almost 80 municipalities that used to exist. And we are also working within an environment that urban agriculture is actually being pushed out by urban development. Kiambu County is one of the most urbanizing counties. And this plan will help us contain this urban spread. For some people, I know we also be containing the wishes, because everybody would want to put out development where he wishes. But this plan will have to control and ensure that we do not develop everywhere. we must have enough green spaces, and we must have land for agriculture or for agricultural purposes. I mean, food security is likely to be the next subject in the world, and Kiambu is likely to be one of them because we are losing the very rich agricultural areas into urban land. So these are some of the tasks that we are working on. They are difficult tasks because we are competing with very profitable, enterprises against a dwindling agricultural sector. So we hope we'll be able to do this. I also be coming to you again in Citizen Forum and Business, what I would like your support of, because we cannot let everybody develop and put up development where he wants. Because, and I say this because many times people complain of development. Currently, we have tried and we have changed the style of planning approval process. I've ensured, personally, I've made sure that every month we have, my technical officers have done a meeting and approved. I've personally also, because this is also, by coincidence, is a topic I love, urban planning. And it's a profession that I've been trained on. And there's no experienced planner in Kiambu County, in my office, who can surpass my level. I'm not saying the experience is the best, but at least I've been gone a little bit further and checked on the plan. Whichever plan I find that is being delayed and necessary, I've cracked the whip and I say it might be approved. Sometimes I don't know who the developers are. However, there are some cases from you, the citizens, you submit plans that you very well know they are not good. You want to put an apartment on purely a low density area because you know it is profitable. And again, on the social media, you go and say your plan you submitted 2 years ago and it has not been approved. It is true, you have not approved it because it is not approvable. So, when we don't approve because we are not supposed to, don't roast us. Give us a little benefit of doubt that we are not demanding too much. There are other cases, and I know there are quite a number, and we have tried and I have intervened personally with the ministry. Recently, we were working on titles for Louis. I personally called on the minister, I wrote to the minister and requested for a clinic where we can work with the national government in order to facilitate people to acquire titles and serving them, because it's a prerequisite that before we evaluate your planning application, you must have an ownership document and you must have a survey map. Survey map indicates the actual area of your land. A document that shows you are the owner also helps us also to collect risk. Sometimes also these are the difficulties that I find from you. When we say you must pay rates before you approve the plans, now it becomes a problem. Then you ask, how much money am I supposed to pay? I pay for my architect. I pay for my structural engineer. I pay for the submission of plans. I pay for structural plan submission. Now you're asking for it. Sometimes the plan may not be approved because it has lacked one of those two documents. Again, out there, we are not approving your plan. So, in a nutshell, yes, a big number of you do not know some of these requirements. We will be holding clinics every time. We'll be having these citizen forums. The four of them will be educating our people on some of these requirements so that we can all be able to be on the same page. And again, paying government money is paying for your resources. But it also gives you strength to ask those people why they have not given you the services that you want. If you have a bill, to the county of $1 million, and you go to the hospital and there are no drugs, then you know why we don't have. So, I'm now coming to a conclusion of my speech. And say the next day that we do invite you for public participation, please attend and please pay all your bills to the county. Then you can roast us for not giving you the services. We commit also to give you the services, and we also commit that the services that we do and the services, infrastructure services that we are going to do will also be of international standard. Thank you so much.
Okay, my name is James Young. I'm a businessman in Thika, and also a member of the Governing Council, Thika District Business Association. My question is just one, directed to the CDC planning. If you look at Thika, everyone must accept this, that we have a problem with the town planning, especially the parking, the issue of workers, the issue of the organization of the town. And I hear you have 150 million for Thika, or I think 330. What are the plans to reorganize Thika to go back to its original state of order? That is, when you have disorder, it is a recipe for crime, it's a recipe for everything which is evil.
Mine are two things. One, the use of technology. I happen to be a champion of technology. The use of technology for me, like HSF said, Bwana Kabucho, is very critical moving forward. And it's so easy these days to interact and to see that you reach so many people and you get feedback. And I think Kara perhaps even KNCCI, we can see how we can help government to become proactive. And we have a very proactive government department, ministry rather, at the national head office. At the national government perhaps can look at how to best use technology to reach the people and to support public participation. Now, the other thing I will mention is the fact that, in my view, and I say this very strongly because I'm passionate about devolution. I was in the running with Madam Chania back in the day for Senate. For me, devolution is utility without public participation. That is my strongest view. And so, I want to imagine and encourage the county government and perhaps our governor, Dr. James Nyoro, that amongst his first order of business is in fact to have a government department of citizen engagement and public participation. Not an office. I've met Mr. Michael. He's a gentleman who is working very hard with the issue of public participation. But in my view, public participation ought to be an all-year-round conversation. Yes. The things that we are talking about today as far as government is concerned, and in particular looking at Article 174, and listening to Mr. Wamwangi, is that nothing can be done, or in fact should be done by now devolution government without the people. And so in my view, I think, for example, 2021 budget, and probably even 2022, should be in discussion now. By the time we're coming to public participation, we are talking about things that have already gone through the planning, the conversations, the typical invitations that the people are invited. Things that have already been discussed. Yes. So it is simply ratifying. And that is not the approach to public participation. That is not the new constitution as far as devolution envisaged. So I think for me the encouragement to the county government of Kiambu because now we have a governor who is committed to moving forward in a very bright way. Can we have a proactive department stand alone on its own, just like urban planning, specifically public participation across the county, interacting with us and knowing our problems, whether it's agriculture, whether our roads, whatever things are. And therefore, once they pick, they have their own proactive internal ways of coming to Mr. Michael here on issues with urban planning. They have their own ways of contacting sports department and others on youth issues. But public participation is the heart of evolution. It must be done in the right way. It must be done proactively. It must be done intentionally. And like Mr. Wamangi said, it must be done meaningfully. So that is my encouragement, and I trust God that we'll grow together.
What I would like to say is that if we can enhance more involvement in the citizenry in coming up with the projects that are being done for them, there will be ownership of this project by the citizenry. There needs to be enhancement of this bottom-up need analysis. Are these the projects that we need, or have they come from up there being brought down to us? So the mechanism of enhancing that these projects really have come from the citizens themselves need to be enhanced. I like the inception of the CDF that was done, the project management committees that are coming up with the project. These projects emanated from the people themselves. If we can enforce the same principle that these projects that they are coming from us, it is us who are bringing up these projects. There is a mechanism for follow-up, there is a mechanism for feedback, so that we know the projects that we highlighted, they are the ones that are being done. As the CC have pointed out, many projects come, but there is no resources to do it. Is there a ranking for the priority of the projects that need to be done for a need of one area? If we can prioritize and have a database of the projects that have come from the citizenry, and then we allocate the resources according to this priority to the rank, then it will be within a few years, the ranks, the resources will be put from according to the ranks from the citizen. And then whatever gets measured gets done. How do we get or measure up that whatever the people came up with is what has been done? Is there a feedback mechanism that is audited by the citizen to see that this is what we said we want first, is it that what has been done? So we need to enhance that prioritization and mechanism for the same. Thank you.
My name is Pawero. My question is to CEC. We have been having a very big problem on garbage, because we happen to close all the dumping sites in all other areas and left only Kahoke. And that has raised a lot of concern that we are a resident of garbage. What was the mechanism that was used to close all the dump sites that we are transporting waste from Limuru all the way to Thika? And what happened to the transfer station that they are supposed to have been done? And what's the way forward for the landfill? Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Newton Jewaga from Thika, Kiambu, and currently I chose myself to be the volunteer Street Children Ambassador. And my question will go to Mr. Kenodia Wamwangi, who sometimes happened to be my boss when I was working with street children in a certain organization. And back to the same line. There has been a very, a seriously growing number of street children in Thika. I hope you have all noted that. And the county government has kept quiet about it. The government is working in closing children's homes, where some of these children would have benefited. But as a county, when we had the municipalities, we had two institutions that were working with these children. One was Jamhuri, the other one was Thika Children Rescue Center. Currently, the two are dormant, and in fact, even if they are working, we can't feel the impact. Actually, they are not working. The number of street children is growing. We are running, throwing stones to them, calling them dogs when they do some very petty robberies. Actually, they are now growing to be bigger robbers. What is the government thinking about them? And the children's homes are now closing.
Thank you. My name is Alex Unduko from Mangu Block 9 Residents Association. I have two concerns. One is to the CC on issues of planning. The county has been very fast in approving plans for flats, even in low density areas. But as planning is happening like that, we are not considering of services. Because one block of apartments will take water that was meant for over 20, 30 people. And in that planning process, we are not expanding the capacity of the Thika Water Company. Now, there is water rationing in Kiambu, in Thika, I mean. Just because we are approving residential plans but not looking at service. At the end of the day, the governor will not be held accountable on the revenues collected. He will be held accountable on the service he has delivered. The approving process is a one-time revenue. Is the change of user, is the plan approval, which you take it 1 year and it's gone. But the problem you are causing with that approval is permanent. So what are you doing to ensure that the water capacity in Thika is expanded to cater for that? Secondly is a comment. You know, the one has told us to read the law. It is important for us to understand the planning process for counties. Incidentally, I am also a chief officer for finance in Kiambu County. Planning is done. Development planning is done when the annual development plan is approved. Yes. And that is in September. 1st of September, that is when the annual development plan is submitted to the county assembly. Like now, development for the year 2020-2021 has already been submitted. We cannot come into the middle of the process to ask for development. It's important for us to understand that planning phase and when you can be able to encounter. As Kenete Umangi was saying, we need to be meeting in December for planning. I think we need to bring that forward so that our views are captured during the annual development plan. Otherwise, when you come during the budget phase, they are only picking the annual development that has been already approved by the county assembly. That is what is coming into the annual budget, which we cannot amend. Because amending it, we have to follow the law. The one you tell us, you have to go and seek to amend a resolution of the county assembly before you get into this thing. So it's important that we understand the planning phases in order to be able to get development in the county. Thank you.
The CBD for Thika. Yes, it is true that there has been a decrease of focus. I don't want to go to the detail. First and foremost, most of these focus come because of the people you elect. I'm not saying you have done anything wrong, but they fail because of populist ideologies and ideas. Sometimes it's quite difficult on ourselves to control as officers, because those people do support some of the people that we have elected to power. However, that does not mean we are just sitting idle, we are not doing anything, but we may not be able to address it adequately, but I hope this time now we are going to do it. And the current program that we are having for Thika CBD, we are also planning to put the vendors into some model kiosk where it is possible. So this is a program we are working, but what we have decided is, first of all, we work on the rehabilitation of all the streets, paint them, put NMTs, put proper parking. All that program is within this financial year. It is very well budgeted, and that money has been set aside for that purpose. It's very unlikely that that money can be used for any other purpose. So at Governor Nyoro, I'm very sure that is not likely to happen. So that one will be done. And on the same, we are working hand in hand, because these people are earning a living, and they're also human beings, and they will tell us, you never involved us, we want that public participation before you remove us from the streets. So we'll be working, because we know, on the other hand, that under the laws that we give you business license, you cannot come and park in front of anybody's shop and trade there. So that one we have to understand. So we have to reach a position where we agree, here you cannot trade, you must go. And when it comes to use the law, then we have to take you to court if you cannot move. However, we would want to provide some level of facilities for these people where they can trade. We are working with some of the business communities. We have been requested, and we have also requested the governor. Last week had a meeting with Del Monte, and they agreed to help us construct a few of these kiosks where these people can also trade, so that people do business in a more civilized manner. When you are living in urban areas, you don't do what you used to do in the rural area. So, yes, that one we are going to try and handle. I know it's a gigantic problem, but if we manage it before it gets bigger, then we can be able to manage the problem. But however, if we let it go, then we will not be able to come and sort it out, because it will just be like Nairobi. So we have the opportunity to contain it. I'll let my sub-county administrator, who's the owners of forceful removal, is on his desk. So the day we say you remove them, you pass it in the cabinet. Once we do the loan, then they will be forcibly be removed. But I don't want to use that terminology right now. Wabelo, you talked of garbage. We have had various public participation exercises in the Mulu, in Kaluri, as well as in Kiambu municipality. During the last financial year, we had set some funds to help us manage garbage. The way we do it, we don't do manage garbage. We don't do garbage management. What we do is we transport garbage, mixed up with everything, we go and dump it. Kamoki. So that's not the modern way that people who are living in urban areas do manage their garbage. We had set funds, and actually that fund is still available. I don't know what I'm going to do with the fund, because under the citizen participation program that we have done, I cannot divert that money. The money was supposed to construct transfer stations. The people in Nermuru say they know about garbage. It cannot be done in their area. The people in Kalori say you cannot construct anything to do with garbage. Now, this is the bigger problem. Under this program, what we were expected to do is that before we transfer all the garbage to Kamoki, we collect the garbage before it starts stinking, it starts rotting. It is sorted out and it creates some level of employment for their youth. Then whatever is recyclable is taken out. There are people who are ready to buy that. And whatever cannot be recycled is taken to Kamoki. This helps us in two ways. One, it helps us transport garbage to a nearby area very quickly, sorted out, and later, what is carried before it starts stinking is only what is biodigestible. Our garbage from our various households, from our various industries, most of it, almost 80% is biodigestible. So this recyclable is very good. But if you can do that, then you can be able to get somewhere in the management of our garbage. This is where the problem is currently. Transporting a truck of garbage from Limuru to Thika. A truck cannot make more than 2 trips. So by the time you transport 50 tons or 100 tons to be a week. So that garbage you have left, you have started stinking. And that is the bigger problem. Now, 2 weeks ago, the governor had invited JICA, who are helping us in developing a modern station at Kangoke. And JICA has told us they are going to help us further develop that station. And I believe right now the county is likely to attract more investors. And with the other development partners, we can be able to do a better modern station. But at the last year budget, we have purchased, I think 13 trucks to help collect this garbage under the municipal program. We have also purchased, I think, 13 skips, and these will have further help us collect this garbage. So, yes, we are trying, but we need to work together. You need to allow us, in every municipality, we develop a transfer station before you take it to the final destination. That way, we will be able to keep our environment more cleaner. You cannot generate garbage and you want it to be taken elsewhere. You should also be able to manage your own garbage. Those of you who have been able to travel, and it's a shame that when we go out of the country and we buy a bottle of water, in some of, say, countries like Japan, I believe some have traveled there. And I studied in Japan for 6 months on urban management. But during that time, even if I bought a burger from a shop, I'll carry my liter until I get a liter box where I can put it. The liter box are very well separated. When we put these liter boxes here in town, there are sharper guys who come and carry them for scrap metal. Sometimes if you do for wood, some guys are going to carry it for firewood. When you do for plastic, they'll carry for recycling. So you guys, you also have a problem. So hii sio mali ya mama yako. Wakisema unaniuliza kwa nini? Na hata wewe pia wewe si mama yako, you should not steal it. So that should always be the rest of the knowledge. It's our infrastructure. And nobody should destroy our infrastructure facilities that we are trying to develop. So that's how we are working on garbage. If I had the Minister for Environment, I know he would have spoken more. And let us also, as we do our daily business, let's not litter. These bottles, if you go to rivers downstream, the rivers are not flowing. Our sewage are already clogged up. Even when I was walking inside here, the sewer out here is already clogged. So it's already blocked and it's overflowing on the streets. Sewer damages come up very fast, it's very corrosive. And of course, the health dangers that it has. I think on street children, I echo Mr. Wamwaki's position. Yes, children, unlike, I don't want to use this, I don't know what I can use. Unlike crocodiles who can lay eggs and they'll hatch later, or snakes, they'll hatch later, children are born by two people. Two human beings who are responsible. But they decide not to be responsible. So let us also take this responsibility so that we don't allow literally should behave. Yes, the county government has a responsibility. We must take care of these people. They are the least fortunate in the society. Sometimes they are orphans. I know sometimes they are as a result of family breakup. I mean, they are a result of so many things. They are result, some are a result of very unfortunate position. They lost both their parents. My Kiambu County administrator, this document is very false on you. I understand there are two institutions for the orphanage which are not working. If you own them, probably I'll give you this opportunity to explain. So I'll give you the mic. You explain to the audience because
from this side only. And let's ask these questions just straight away. In the meantime, this side of the section, I would ask you to start thinking about resolutions. What is it that you want us to tell the governor through the CEC? Because he is not here, and some of the questions you are asking are being answered, but there are some he also says that he wants to go and take them. So there are things that you would want us to tell the governor. So as we get questions, also comment, let us develop those resolutions as well.
I just want to make a few comments. And I would like to start with the garbage municipal solid waste management. When I was in government, we made an attempt in Nairobi. We went to tender, developer, and the public-private partnership was nominated. But the councillors then, because they were the garbage collectors, for the idea, he died. I went to the then Prime Minister and questioned him to do with the councillors because most of them were medium councillors. I think. No, I'm just trying to make a point. He can take this. This is not going to help you if you want that question. Let me make my point. Yeah. So now what I'm saying, we can do the same thing here. Top man, Otieno, he went to Mombasa. He went to tender, they ordered a tender, and then go home. What is? It went to High Court and it was sustained. But it has never been done. But here, we can do it. Yeah? You can do it. You get all that garbage coming from far and wide, get the feasibility study done, and I can assure you, as part of environmental management, you will get financiers from private sector and the private public management. And all these things we are talking about, smell, I don't know, mountains of garbage will disappear. That's one. Then, we talked about quarterly citizen meetings. In the government, we used to have what we call 100 days. I think performance. And then you get what people, citizens to come. They are told what has been done vis-a-vis the plan, the budget. So every 100 days, of course, it was done for some time and discontinued. But the starting point of that was public participation. We used to go to KICC to present our ministerial budget individually. Yeah? And then on that basis, we would receive comments from stakeholders, citizens, and we would go back to the office and modify. So here, what I'm suggesting that you have a budget, then every 90 days, because we're talking about, I think, quarter meeting, every 90 days you come and review the citizens in terms of performance. What have you been able to achieve? Why have you not achieved it? If you have excelled, you say you excel. And through that, you move on. Where they are underperformance on account of lack of resources, you carry it forward and so forth. Then, the other thing is that planning, like a hospital, is not something to be done in 1 year. So it needs to be planned for maybe for 3 years. But because of maybe public demand from MCAs and others, well, it can be fast tracked. But it will be fast tracked at the expense of other projects. Then, Enrique Omongi talked about budget review, supplementary budget. Supplementary budget, in most cases, is to reorganize. If you are, of course, if your country has collected more money, that can be factored in. If they are not collecting more money, it's reduced and rearranged to meet the most critical needs. Then, about roads. About roads, and this is very important. Those who are telling me to ask questions. I'm not going to ask questions for the sake of it. There can be cost sharing. Cost sharing. Like going where people are putting up houses, there are no roads, sometimes they are not able to go through. Look, there's a problem here. Here, roads which were done by you, like land rent is one, it's not, it was done by the national government. It's no longer more traffic when it rains for small cars. 40 was portable. And you say you want to do what you want to do. You get that one done. And you can even mobilize people to come with a bag of whatever it is to get it repaired. And they would be most willing to do that.
Approve that. So that is a minus one. We have asked three very quick questions to the CEC. Number one, areas that are considered controlled development. Some estates. Why are the various drawings approved before there is public participation? And normally there is a procedure of approving from the public to your office, but it is normally comes from the top now to down. Number two, public participation meetings. Of late, we have seen that they are being held in the sub-counties. And the meetings are called that they will start at around 9. But when we go for that meeting, the meeting starts at noon and they end at 1. And all the wards are represented there. So now, that is not a public participation because no one has been given a chance to ask or comment on it. Can the public participation now be devoted straight to the wards so they can also be able to talk about their development? That is number 2. Number 3, there are business designated areas, especially bars. Why are licensing be given out to residential areas, actually neighboring houses where children are going to school? And this is, I think this one we can be able to take it because it has become a mess in most of the estates. Finally, the garbage collection. We have talked about it here, but the question I was asking, why is the county government collecting levies from the people in terms of the parking and in terms of everything, but people are the ones who are paying for the garbage correction instead of the county government? Thank you.
We want to be engaged in developing a strategy, because if we don't develop this strategy, what we're going to have is money not going to the hands of farmers. For example, tea farmers. You even see the price at the auction is 300 shillings. The tea farmer is getting 23 shillings. Less than 10%. How is that? How is that possible? What sort of a working formula, price-wise, is that? Because if we don't have an agricultural strategy, don't blame us when we start turning our farms into real estate because they're no longer agriculturally viable. But if you put money in the hands of the farmers, you create employment and you can do the infrastructure, you'll be able to collect the taxes, but we need to participate in a proper agricultural strategy. Number 2, TSES. We pay TSES. We've been paying it for the past I don't know how many years. It was supposed to repair roads. The roads in the tea farms are not repaired. Where is this money going? Can we stop paying it from next month? Thank you very much.
Yeah, my name is Bashir Tinywa, Chairman Kiambu Resident Association. Let me begin by commending Waziri Rumaina and also my elder and member, Bwana Kinuthia Mwangi, for your wonderful presentations. Mine are not exactly questions, but it's a mix of maybe thoughts and a comment. Now, the first one is on the issue of the county government. We already have an act, as was intimated earlier, the 2016 Act that stipulates how communities, the county government can engage communities. And as a way forward, what we really need to have is active engagement between the county and the communities through either their registered associations or otherwise. But there is need for that as a way forward so that we are able to interact and they come up with the issues, solutions to the issues that are so many for our county. And as Wabwaki recommended, it will be paramount that we set it off by having town hall meetings, perhaps twice a year, round-table meetings, but we seriously need to have that engagement between the county governments and the associations or communities, as it were. Now, the second one is on the issue of funding, for projects, for developments. Waziri, you did give us some good highlights about the kind of funding requirements for the development projects. But I would have liked to hear more about what you're doing in terms of funding for maintenance, because much as we are trying to do the many projects, though the funds are scarce, but there is definitely needs to allocate a reasonable percentage of that funding to save the infrastructure which has already been developed. A case in point, and I think PS Nyoik has intimated about Kiboko. We've tried, small community as we are, with our little resources, to patch up some potholes, but we cannot sustain that. And we now realize that much as we would want to do that, we are losing that very infrastructure which was put up wonderfully several years back. So it's important for the county government, even as we also venture into new development projects, let us also allocate adequate funding for maintenance of the existing. Otherwise, as the adage goes, a stitch in time saves 9, but we are losing all.
My name is Edward. One question to the CEC, and mine is with regard to public land in Kiambu County. Of late, we've noted a lot of, let me call it grabbing or reverting of public lands to private within Kiambu County. And I believe the county is a key partner in ownership of this land. So for the CEC, how do you help the public get back what is actually destined to be theirs by helping this land revert back to the public? Thank you.
And I want us to remind ourselves that we are sure the day of inauguration, our governor said that we are going to have new roads in each ward. And these wards are said to go 4 kilometers. So if that is implemented, all the Kiambu County people will be very happy, because we are having problems on our roads everywhere. Everywhere you go, you find people are not able to go. We only have a super highway. Thank you. And the next comment, I just say that if the public participation is done purely from the county level to the sub-county, to the wards, and down to our villages, it will be implemented better than now. Thank you.
My name is from Membli. And my question is, I have 2 direct questions. At what point does public participation happen during the zoning process of an area? And I'm asking that question because you have mentioned that the planning for the Ruiru sub-county is actually being done. And I have had a chance to see that the new zoning. And there's a lot of changes from the initial plan to the new plan. If it has gotten to the point where the plan is already in public domain and the public has not been involved in that planning, at what point are residents of Membli going to comment on it? Number 2 is during the time of the former governor, around 1 year ago, some roads were launched in our neighborhood, and signboards actually put up for the commencement of those roads. Is there a chance that those roads will ever be done by the new administration?
I present the next day called Community Justice in Kiambu, Metropolitan. And my remarks go to Wanamoni. First of all, thank you for taking the case for regards to water companies. But unfortunately, enough, the case was, we won the case about the water companies. We still have an illegal entity called Kiambu County Water and Sewerage Company, which is operating to supervise the water companies. And I think we need as a resident to take a resolution in regards to composition of water boards in our companies. We have several water companies in Kiambu. We have Thika Water, we have Ruiru Juja, we have Karori, we have Kikuyu, we have Kiambu. But all those companies, as we start here, they don't have substantive boards. Simply because when the former governor came to power, there was some advertisements which were made in regards to board position. Then after that, I think with his own wisdom, he said to do away with water companies and say that you form one umbrella body in Kiambu called Kiambu County Water and Sewerage Company. And that's why Mr. Amwangi and his friends went to court and challenged that decision. And we are happy to say that the ruling was done in our way. But as we speak right now, and this is something which probably we need the current government to take up. Those water company boards are not consulted. And even those people who are serving those boards, their terms are come to an end. And that's something which needs to be thought of. So that the resident associations, the Chamber of Commerce can be incorporated in those boards so that we can be able to run our companies there. And the other question is regards to approval of buildings, what am I now? We have found that where I come from, we are approving the buildings, and somebody is putting something called attic room. But the attic room is going to, the whole house again is looking like it's a 3-story building, which was meant to be an attic. And I echo what the earlier speaker said, that we need now to consider where they are registered associations, that before they approve of the plan, that the estate okay. Let the estate have a say in whatever plan is going to be approved. That they can put an okay so that at least whatever is coming up, we will not interfere with whatever decision they have made. Those are my questions. Thank you so much.
One is about environment. We talk too much of planning. As Kenya struggled with 7% of the forest cover, the world is trying to embark on a 10%. What is Kiambu County doing about the forest cover? Can we raise the benchmark to double the 7% to up to 15% and be on the world map, just like Ethiopia did to plant the most trees in a single day recently? Second question is the second area is on food security. What are we doing to encourage about agro-based industries so that our farmers can be encouraged to produce more, then clear their cultivation to put up buildings that we have seen it happening in many towns, Kariabans in Kiambu County. The other part is on hazardous waste. We have talked much on garbage being taken from various urban towns within Kiambu County, and it ends up in a landfill. Some of those landfills have been licensed by the government, but some now are closed. We have not heard much about hazardous waste. This is waste from clinics, hospitals, etc. If not checked, most of these wastes ends up in the rivers, and this is the water that is consumed downstream. When you look at, we had recently last year, there was something on there about toxic waste from the Robi River, which originates from Odero or somewhere in Kiambu, Kikuyu. Likewise, there's always streets around Limuru and even Kiambu to go down to end up in Tana River and Nairobi. This water consumes a lot of waste from upcountry. What happens when these industries are not checked and the waste keeps on going into the rivers? Thank you.
Thank you.
Very Welfare Association Chairperson. Thank you for this meeting. We appreciate being here. My question is one. I'm standing on behalf of all residents and associations which are represented here. I would like to tell the CEC and the people who are here that in the real sense, resident associations' role is to cover the interest of all residents, the good ones and the bad ones. Because the good ones are still in our residents, and even the bad ones who have impunity and all that are still in our residents. But as the residential associations, we are complementers. We are not competitors with the county. So what I would ask, and the CEC is here, that the problem we have is in the planning department. The planners have failed the residents associations. So kindly as a resolution, we would ask, allow us to visit you in your office as representatives of the residents associations so that we are able to hear our views. Number two, devolution comes down to the village. Resident associations, we can call them as villages. We would ask you to also include members of the resident associations as board members in all the things that you're doing. Because I am sure we are going to help you get to the bottom of this and we will be able to see the vision of Kiambu. Thank you.
Yes. I have two questions. Mine is about the public plots. You find in an estate like Kawasukari, all the public plots were grabbed by the initial land sellers. Incidentally, in Kawasukari, we happened to go to court, and there has been no follow-up by the county for the plots that were supposed to be referred to the public. That is one. The other thing, it is my observation, the county should change on public participation. Just as my friend there said, it happens we are called for a public participation starting at 9 o'clock. It starts at 1. So anybody who has something to do, you cannot stay 3 hours standing doing nothing. In that case, you find that public participation is gone by those people who have no interest of the estate. Thank you.
After I sit down, I'll let the Director of Public Participation to comment. But let me first of all give my view, not as the CEC, but also as a resident. I would like now to sit on your side. I've worked with Chinese people. You know they don't have very good English. So they say, Kenya, talk too much. Do, little. So as much, and I'm not, let me now go back to my position as a CC. As much as we would want to do a lot of public participation, take a lot of hours. Sorry if you have been delayed from 9 and the meeting starts at 12, then it's at 1. That's a very sorry state, it's not happening. It's better if you are supposed to start at 12, as well prescribed 12 to 1. Such that when you are going, you know the timelines. So we should also demand for people to do, because we can come here, talk, but do little. The reason why I've said this is that I've given you the kind of budget that we are having. We are coming here to talk, to share resources on how we are going to do infrastructure development worth how much? 1,000 shillings. So even from your own, wherever you have come from, how much time would you take to talk, to do a development of 1,000? Because we are coming, all of us, from household. So we need also to think beyond that level. Let me also expound, because I know some people are knowledgeable about county affairs. They will just say, I'm just talking about that money. what about the other money that we are given? We are actually given 9.5 billion by the national government. I think 8.5 billion will go to salaries and remunerations from that money. We receive from conditional grants, I think 4 billion. Our own revenue, 2.7 billion. Conditional grants actually are for some purpose projects. So if it's money for hospitals, just go to hospitals alone. If it's for infrastructure projects, go directly to infrastructure projects. The reason why I'm giving you all these enigmatic is you understand that the money that we get under the sharing revenue column is already stated we cannot increase that. The way the Kikuyu say, mtu akule ile meagiwa na mama yake, hiyo ingine aende akajitafutie. Take your inheritance from your mother or your father, then you go and expand your resources. So that sharing almost goes to the current expenditure. Because beyond salaries, you also have a recurrent expenditure that takes almost another 1.5 billion. And the 1.59 billion is already taken off. Because I have come here with a vehicle, I'll be paid a salary. I'm not sure whether I've received it now. I think if I receive it, it must be today. Because yesterday I have not received it. Sometimes our vehicles don't have fuel. Sometimes you also struggle. So that's your county. And I'll still re-emphasize again, the only way we can be able to do it is to increase our money by paying our revenue. If we do that, then we'll be able to pay more. And then we can play further. All of us. You people can question us. We have paid each 5,000 shillings. We are 2 million. If we pay 5,000 shillings, how much money do we talk of development? Probably. Assuming the status we are, any increment of payment will correspondingly increase the money for infrastructure development, because at the moment we are able to balance our accounts and save some little money for development. So if we increase the revenue from you paying for eternity, because if you pay for eternity, it will be not expensive for us, then we can have as many meetings as we can, because we have more cake to share. I have written quite a number of letters to National Art Commission before it was dissolved. Thank God now a new board has been, new commissioners are in place. We were not able to progress on the various lands that we have written to the National Art Commission for their process. We are pushing on some of them. If you know a particular portion of that, please let me have the information. Let me also advise you that you are also, as a community, eligible to complain to the National Art Commission if you have the information. If you feel my desk is not going to be strong enough, you do a letter directed to National Art Commission. They will listen to you. Get the information. Because sometimes we don't have that information. Remember, we had very weak local authorities, and that data that we inherited from the local authorities, Mr. Wamwangi, it's not available. Currently, for example, we are working on an IT-based technology and approval system. It's called EDAMS, an electronic system. We are able to bank each and every approval that is generated. We cannot delete it. If we deleted it, we show that we deleted it. And we are not supposed to delete. So every application that is put in Kiambu County is saved in the cloud. It will never disappear. But that system was not there before we took up before the county government came into force. So right now we have a better system. The reason is, I agree with you, I've seen my officers commenting on plan, that planner to be taken to the site. The reason why this system, we developed it so that we can minimize the contact, physical contact between the officer, the developer, and the consultant. If you minimize that contact, then you minimize the rate of negotiations. It's that physical conversation that leads Yaguni Nini Haba. I'm aware my colleague is in charge of the environment. Every long lanes period, when they're just about to start laying, we always have a tree planting program. And he has been working with most of the citizens on tree planting program. The county has donated seedlings to be planted. So we are trying to make up of this tree cover. The other item I can mention we are doing also to mitigate that on our part is that we are trying, and you'll be saying this because this matter is also on climate change. We are putting up solar street lights instead of the conventional. The reason why we are doing this is because we will save on electrical bills. I think they have raised almost to 8 million per month. And it's also a big problem. I think I may also share, when I was working in City Hall, I was one of Mr. Akuo's appointment on development of Nairobi. And we increased the street light through many companies, partnering with the companies. Our bill rose from, I think, 14 million to 36 million, and it became unbearable. So what we are trying now, so that, what I've borrowed from my experience and I've seen, is we are trying to do more streetwise based on solar, because we have a lot of solar here, so that we can reduce the bills and also save on climate change. Hazardous waste from hospitals. This one we do not mix with what we go to dump in the Kamopi, unless probably it's coming from some of our private hospitals or private clinics. What we do have, we have an incineration center. I'm not sure where it is located, but I know it is one of the hospitals. I'm not sure whether it is Vika or Kiambu. Yeah, and all of them are collected and taken for incineration. As I give you my number, you know Kiambu has 2.204394 million people. So I cannot answer every number. I'll come from a position that I answer all calls. If I don't answer, I always return. So call me when it is extremely necessary. My number is 0722 306 569. Precisely call me for only technical issues. Yeah. 0722 306 569. Growing areas. And actually I know it's more of upgrading, malaming and all those. There are two things, and again I'm going also to admit some of our shortfalls. There was a time, I think I held a meeting with the former governor in my office with some of the tree growers. And because of the mess that we are in, we had agreed that we are going to develop a thesis act or a thesis bill, then we take it to County Assembly for enactment. I'm aware my counterpart in Nagpikash has gone to benchmark in Melu, which has won, so that that money can be reinvested. Meaning, when you bring that money to only be used for the thesis, I think we retain, I think, 20% or 10% of that money. The rest will go back to to the infrastructure for the two growing areas. But you know, you guys know you have not been operational in a very sensible way since almost the whole. We have lost a lot of time. So most of these activities have not been going on very well. I'll take up this with the governor as well. But generally speaking is that when you put your money to the county, it goes to the county general account. And be swallowed by some of those roads, those hospitals. If you are listening to me, you can follow me. You'll find we are over and above almost 3 to 5 billion commitments that we cannot be able to do. Which means if we do all the things that we committed ourselves in the first year, we'll never do anything else until, I don't know, the next general elections. So you should not even be doing these public participations because your money is already committed. But I believe this is something that we'll be able to work out on, and whatever is not straight, we kick it out, then we put what you guys want. I'll pass this to the governor, the agency in developing the CTSS Act, so that it can help us manage your money. Then finally, this is what I wanted to tell you guys. We'll be having citizen forum in every municipality in the month of February.
This month?
This month. Must be this month. This meeting, because I've seen you have asked me too many questions, including areas that I do not work. I will ensure that all the officers, all my ministers, colleagues are very well represented in that meeting, so that they can also be roasted the way you have roasted me. I think that's my promise. And we on your side promise that you attend and roast them thoroughly. That time, don't roast them. Thank you.
We have put in plans. Now we have our ward administrators back. We will use them to mobilize, and we will ensure that if a meeting is going to start at 10, it will start at 10. If it has been indicated is 2, it will start at 2. That is, if you look at that advert that Bwana Wamongi was showing you, we have reacted on the feedback on time and venues. Some will be held at 2 p.m. depending on various areas. Others will be held at 10. We have also changed some venues as we got the feedback last year. So kindly be assured. Then the document to be discussed through Honorable Ngeche and other members who visited me that I have their email addresses. I will email you from tomorrow the document that will be discussed on Monday. So if you are a resident representative association here, kindly give me your email. I will forward you the advert plus the document that will be discussed come Monday. Thank you for supporting us, and we look forward for a better working relationship. Asante.
Bwana Kiambu Wamongi, I haven't met the protocol when I see, but Kiambu is my father. When I see representing the county governor, Honorable Dr. Yoro, the conveners of this forum, that's a lot, and a lot of demands. My fellow residents, my name is Madam Gladys Chania. I'm a Thika resident by birth, a Tondo South by marriage, a Tondo North by rural setup. So I'm just a Kiambu by all my interests. Thank you very much for this day. I'm not used to ask questions, and so I'll just go straight to giving some of our bare minimum requests. the county government of Kiambu. On street children, Bwana CEC, let it be a bare minimum. We need to rehabilitate our street children. Some of us are suffering a lot. Because like in Thika, we have taken it as our mandate. In Kikuyu, in Limuru, in all our urban centers, that we are even taking street children for maternity here. And most of them do not even have NHIF, because there is no civic education well done to them or to the community on the scene. So on street children, it's bare minimum, not a request. We need to have them rehabilitated by the county government. Civic education and capacity building. I'm one of the gurus on this. Mr. Kangeve, my former ACC1 in Thika. I know you're very good in this. We did a lot with you on fight against alcohol and drug abuse, and I know you can do it. Let us have a budget in this year on capacity building, civic education, and public participation. We don't know if it has been done or the finance bill has been done, as we don't know because we did not participate in it. So we want to see the budget for public participation when it starts running round to us. And trust me, the sub-counties I'll visit on the public finance bill that won't have the public participation budget on it. For those we attend, you know it doesn't go well with us. Abu, it doesn't go well with us. Let us have that budget. Let us not talk. We want to do. That's what the CNCC has told us, isn't it? Yes, let us agree on that as residents. Let us have our people educated. The worst enemy you have in life is the person who denies you information. Why should we be denying information? We pay the taxes. Your level, you are 2 billion, we want to feel it before we add more. So when you begin my coffee. On health facilities, I know much of this doesn't hold into your docket, but you are the planner. You are in the planning. Let us have our facilities in the whole county well facilitated, even with emergencies and community health workers or the community health volunteers. Let us not have people suffering on the walls and the streets of the hospitals because kuna mgomo wa madaktari. Let all that be checked. Counties like Makueni and Machakos are doing very well with CHVs. Let us Kiambu emulate that. The other one I'm just passing by because I know it is on human resource, I know it is on a public service docket, but also in Thika as a municipality, as I come again on the capacity building, let us get represented by people that can have capacity to offer to others. Are you getting that, members? Yes. If it is municipal board members for Roiro, let them be people who know Roiro, people who can pass and disseminate information to Roiro people. The same with the Kikuyu, the same with Thika. And I'm very disappointed, I'm sorry, I don't hide it. We cannot have a Roiro person representing Thika in our Thika Municipal Board. We cannot agree on to that. I wish you got one of the members of the Thika to represent Thika. Thika is homogeneous anyway. Roiro is homogeneous. Kikuyu the same, we have different problems. And every sub-county, every municipal knows its problems better. So on these things now, let's continue being technical. Let us not play politics on issues that are affecting Wanjiko wa kawaida. And Wanjiko wa kawaida kitu ya kwanza, aelevushwe, aelewe, ajizungumzie. Asanteni sana.
So thank you very much. I want to apologize on behalf of Kara. We have taken long, but when the governor is here, what else do you need? You are hungry, but 1 minute will not take you very far. Maybe will help us for tomorrow, isn't it? I want to just have two things.
One have an assignment to close and give some little remark in terms of what have we had, and then I will pray. Then you can go and have something that can keep you going to get to your house. Because I think it has taken long. It has been overtaken by time. One is that I want to thank God for this day. It is a day after we have experienced Kiambu paradigm shift from the leadership in the heart to a new leadership. And I want to appreciate the governor representative. I know the MC is there, but I want you to do special clapping for a leader who has accepted where they have gone wrong and where they will improve and what they need to do. He is a leader who is genuine and a leader who wants to be accountable. Even if he is not accountable, let's clap for him, please. I have known Maina for a while, worked with him. I've been in the community leadership for quite a while, Metropolitan and Nairobi County. I want to appreciate the role of educating us this morning, teaching us, and of course, Wamwangi has it all from a legality and a legal perspective. And I say this, public participation is a must by law. That's where we are. The issue here is that you are not coming. Please do come. Let's have the paradigm shift of acknowledging to come, not being told we don't come when we're invited. I want to move from there and say this. Hold the people accountable, but also play your role. We have had. Let's play rates, let's pay everything, let's pay our taxes, and then we support the government of the day. I want to just remind maybe us, those who may not be very good in history, that in Germany, Second World War, Konrad Adenauer took over 1946. The Germany was a flat ground, but after 20 years, 1966, he was 72 years. When he died in 1966, after 20 years, the country was a superpower again. And he used residence, neighborhood, approach standard so that you have the opportunity to determine your destiny. So come and listen to the issues of PPP, public partnership and participation for development. Yeah. Public-private partnership. I want to appreciate that the meeting has been fruitful. We have understood our roles. We have also told them what we want. And I'm sure you will take the resolutions to the governor. I want to just pray.
Let me interrupt.
Yes.
There are two vehicles that are blocking others. KCD 210E, please open the way. And KCD 609M. If you are here, please go and sort out. Somebody is being blocked by those vehicles.
Sorry, I want to just appreciate that also we have understood, because we have been taught, let's take the opportunity to come and do what we are supposed to do in terms of participating in the budget, participating in identifying the priorities. May I stop there and pray for now so that we can go to the next level?
Right. I think one announcement that I wanted to make, I forgot to mention this, is that whatever we have put here, we have been somebody who has been collecting that information. We'll put it together like it was advised. In addition to what Waziri will take to the governor had also promised that he will have an audience with a representative of this group through Kara. So don't worry, if you have anything, please put it down.
on also, we can capture it if you didn't have an opportunity earlier on to present it. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer. I want therefore to say I am noting that the engineer has done a very good job for us. Why don't you clap for him? I want also to thank, therefore, those others who have participated, and especially the panelists here. And as we go back to Nairobi, I personally have been a chair of Residents Association in Princeview for quite a while. And as we started this organization called CARA in 1999, I was one of the founders. I am happy to be here, to be able to say, come out and participate for your destiny. May God bless you, and let us pray. Lord, we come to you. Lord, we thank you. Lord, we appreciate the panelists, we appreciate the governor, we appreciate those who have participated in making this day a new dawn for us to learn and understand where we are. I pray for, I believe, that all of us have a role to play in creating a new destiny for all of us, and the whole of Kiambu will experience a new dawn in terms of development. For this we pray, in your name, and believe. Amen.